Atlanta plus 115 on the money line. The Mets at minus 125. The over-under 8. Max Fried getting the start for Atlanta. Despite some unfortunate surprises for the United States through the first several days of the Olympics, the U.S. is still an overwhelming favorite to win the most medals at minus 5,000. China is at plus 1,400 and host country Japan at plus 2,800. The NBA draft will get underway tomorrow with the Detroit Pistons owning the top pick. Odds are they will choose Oklahoma State guard Cade Cunningham. He's a minus 8,000 favorite to be taken first overall, followed by Jalen Green at plus 700, Evan Mobley and Jalen Suggs at plus 2,500. I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Welcome to TalkinBall with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
A pleasant good Wednesday morning to you. My name is not Drew DeArmond. My name is not Scott Tyson. My name is Steve Moulton. Welcome you into this Wednesday, the 28th day of July 2021. A fresh edition of TalkinBall. Chad Guathney producing. And out of the gate, listen, I just got through listening to the big dog in his rant this morning. I've got one other rant that I would like to go on, if you'll allow me. Just out of the gate, since I'm free and clear right now to do this right now. I was staying up to watch USA basketball last night. And how much money is it going to take to watch the Olympics this year? Honestly, how much money is it going to take to watch the Olympics? I'm trying to be patriotic, get into these Olympic Games. I turn on the channel. I'm watching 3-on-3 basketball, and it's bad basketball. There's no other way to say it than it's just bad basketball. I want to watch good basketball, and it's not on the Olympic channel. No, you got to go to Peacock and pay $4.99 to watch it, and yes, we did it. We did it. We beat Iran. Yes, we did. Was I able to watch it? No, because I didn't want to fork over $4.99 to watch a game at midnight last night. The commentary, I will yield my time to answer Tom Abraham this way. Leslie Jones, a comic who spent many years, I think she's still on Saturday Night Live. She has gone to TikTok. And I'm just going to yield my time to her in my commentary about Simone Biles.
So from what I'm finding out is that she withdrew because of that she might have been injured or something like that. Let me explain something to y'all. Whatever happened, whatever she decided to do, let me tell you something about this girl. This girl done been through hell. She done won medals injured. She has faced sexual abuse. Okay, so if anybody come on my feed and talk about how tough you need to be, I swear to God, I'm gonna put 4 of these foots in your ass. Do you understand? Because half you can't even wear a mask.
So there you go. You know what?
I was just weirded out about the mask comment at the end, but other than that, it was great. Everything else was great, other than the mask comment at the end. Like, what did the mask have to do with that? That had nothing to do with the mask. It has to do with your pride. It had nothing to do with your mask. They're just calling out her pride. But I get it. That was awesome, though. I get it, and I get it while you're venting.
I mean, of all things to hear before you go into a morning show. And by the way, you know,
that gets you pumped.
I really enjoy the product that, for the most part, ESPN Radio has gotten a lot better over the last 5 or 6 years. And when they talk college football, it's almost like us talking NFL. I mean, I get this idea, especially with the big boys going, oh, look at those little people in Alabama talking NFL. Well, when ESPN Radio talks college football, I want to say, oh, look at them talking college football. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute?
Yeah, it's pretty much the opposite, you know. And everyone's like a genius too when you watch that show, right?
Of course.
You know.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, everybody thinks they know, light years more than them, and to be honest with you, you just wonder how some of them are just on there. But it's just when they're sitting there talking about it. And it's nothing that,
well, especially
it's
SEC.
Nothing, yeah.
When they're talking SEC, I'm like, all right.
And they work for another conference, or it's like they cover another conference, and they're talking about the SEC. It's kind of like when they get like a basketball guy on the show or something, and they talk football the entire time. It's like, why did you bring the guy on? You just wanted to get his perspective on the. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Why didn't you just do a whole basketball segment? So I think it's just whatever. It's just whatever fits.
Maybe it's because I've been in the South. Well, I've born and raised in the South, so I feel like college football. If there is kind of one subject that if you put me in front of a mic without reading anything, you'd say SEC football go. Sure. All right. That's right in my fast lane right there.
That's just what I grew up on. I never grew up under a professional team. There was, other than the Titans being, right up the road, growing up, I never had a professional team. So a lot of times I never talked professional football or anything. I talked baseball and college football.
Last night, the Braves pulled out the whooping stick against the Metropolitans. Charlie Moulton on the mound, overshadowed by the fact that Austin Riley outscored the Mets 6-5 by himself. I had an opportunity to talk to Brian Snitker after the game, a little back and forth between this is Dave O'Brien out of the gate, then my question.
And I know it wasn't Nola or some of these other guys you faced over the last few days, but does a game like this show the potential of this offense?
Yeah, no, it's it's good to come out and score runs. I mean, I think the 3 previous games we'd given up 3 runs and we're 1-2 in the games. So it was nice to come out and score some runs. I mean, anytime you take a major league game and have major league pitchers on the mound, man, it's anything can happen. And it was good to see the good offensive production out of the guys.
Snit, is it a little maddening not knowing what the offensive production is not as consistent as, you just don't know what you're going to get from game to game?
No, it's not maddening. I mean, it's, you're going to run into some good pitching that is going to neutralize, obviously, good offense. And our guys are going to fight. They're going to grind at bats. And we're going to score enough most nights. So no, I'm you know what? It's not maddening ever with this group because these guys, they work hard, they care, they just the way they go about it. I can't be like that with these guys, man. I'm right there with them and pulling for each and every one of them.
Well, it may not be maddening for Snit, but as a Braves fan, I will tell you just a little behind the scenes action. There were a couple of writers that shot me a message right after saying, can we just feed you the questions that we can't ask him because we really want those answers? I told Dave O'Brien I would say that this morning. Anyway, I'm sure Dave's listening. But I'll tell you, as a Braves fan, it is maddening to go 15 runs, 1 run, 2 runs, 12 runs.
Well, hopefully the pattern won't hold because usually they follow a double-digit scoring effort with 1 or 2 runs, or a goose egg, or a shutout. They do have Max Fried going tonight. I mean, if the Braves are ever going to get to 500, or if they're ever going to get over it,
is this like our 20th time we're a game under 500?
I'm just saying that this is the opportunity because you're in the pennant race right now as far as the division. I'm going to be interested to see what Anthopoulos is going to do the next few days because I still don't think he should be finished because this ball club has got holes. We know that. It's going to be interesting to see if he's done offensively, because they've gone out and they've gotten Stephen Vogt and they've gotten Jock Peterson. And so far, I mean, I think both have been quality additions to the ball club. You could argue that they might need another outfield bat, but are they going to do that via the minor league system with Pate or Waters? Are they going to give them an opportunity, or are they going to try to go get a veteran? Personally, I think a bigger need right now, due to the fact that we don't know when is going to be. We think it's going to be in August, but I still think a setup guy could be big if they could find a veteran that could help some of the bullpen woes. Because, and again, we talked to Leo Mazzoni last week. It was an epic conversation. As he said, it's really the rotation. It's not as much the bullpen, because with the rotation being in flux, it puts more pressure on guys in the bullpen to have to pitch more, and so it's kind of a domino effect. And I agree with him to a certain degree, but I think at the same time, we don't know how effective some of these guys are going to be coming back from injury. And so if you could go out, and so far they've had some quality additions with only giving up, very little as far as the top level minor league talent. If they could go out and get a reliever, I think it would be big. But we'll see. I mean, it's pretty remarkable what Snit's done with this ball club,
if you
and that they're in the division race. I mean, I hear people, you got to fire Snit.
No,
it was just like when they wanted to fire Bobby Koch because he couldn't win the World Series. I'm sitting there. When you're winning divisions, you don't fire managers, okay?
Yeah.
That's not what you do. That is stupidity. The manager can only work with the roster that he's given. This roster's in the shape it's in because of unbelievable amount of bad luck with injuries, and because Alex Anthopoulos screwed the bullpen up and didn't re-sign the right guys, in my opinion. Okay,
you mean AJ Minter's not the answer?
I mean, come on, man.
Is he not the answer?
That's like it's Mitch Williams Jr. It's like Jim Fregosi. He used to put Mitch in, light a cigarette, and walk up the tunnel because you couldn't watch it.
Was that Leland or Fregosi?
No, it was Jim Fregosi and the Phillies when they made that run in '93, and they did get to the World Series. But he would just take a cigarette, go up, and then he wouldn't watch. And that's basically the way you have to do it with Minter and something. Matzik as well. He's had trouble, walking people, even though he's got really good stuff.
I'm completely out on Sean Newcomb. I'm completely
and he's a head case too.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm completely out.
I mean, now a millennial's going to call in and say you can't say that because of mental health and all this stuff. But I'm just saying, because he looks awesome in one outing, and then he can't throw
second half
strikes.
of the doubleheader when Newcomb was put in, I could barely watch. I could barely watch because you don't know what you're going to get out of him.
I mean, he throws in the high 90s, we know that, but the stuff is just not there all the time, and so. To me, if I'm Anthopoulos, you're not mortgaging the farm here, okay? Because there's been all kind of I love how all these people throw in all these. Well, this could be a blockbuster trade for Atlanta. The only way they'd be making a blockbuster trade is if they were in first place and having a great year, and then that's when in the past that's when I've seen Atlanta do this.
4 games.
I know.
It's 4 games.
I know. But
4 games.
I still think they're going to make a move or two. I just don't think it's going to be for Kyle.
If they win the next 2 games, then you're going to see a big deal.
Well,
that would get them within 2 games by the trade deadline.
Well, are you going to? To me, I'm not going Chris Bryant because I'm not going to mortgage the future because
who else is out there?
Because you're not going to re-sign him. Okay,
he's the only guy out there.
Well. I don't know. I wouldn't do it personally just because I think they've got some good young talent, but I wouldn't mortgage the future.
You would rather have Pate out there than Chris Bryant.
Because I think Pate has upside. I think he'll eventually figure it out at the plate. Look.
Does he know what a bat looks like now?
Well, I mean, I thought he actually, in the playoffs last year, for a young kid, when they decided to play him, I thought he did pretty decent.
Out of the gate this year, I mean.
Well, and here's the thing, too. And I
know it's a different deal once you are the guy.
They did not. I mean, he did not hit well in the in spring training.
Nope.
And you got to understand, he really didn't have a season last year. And just at the end, they had some injuries, and they decided to give him a shot, and and Ender couldn't hit his weight, and so they decided to go ahead and give him an opportunity. But but to me, from a bat standpoint down the stretch, I might just give one of the young kids a shot, because I'm gonna be honest with you, with this ball club, they're not giving up, and that's exactly what Snit just told you for your question.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. This team is not winning the World Series.
Oh, no. Oh,
okay.
Gosh, no.
Not a chance in hell that they're going to win the World. You just keep letting them battle.
If they win one round in the playoffs,
he should be manager of the year.
Completely.
As they say.
Yeah.
I mean,
Coming up on the program today, Mr. 247 Josh Pate is going to join us in the 8 o'clock hour. And coming up after our first time out, Jake Crain. We'll talk a little Auburn athletics with him. Jay Billis was on a Zoom call yesterday to preview the NBA draft and had quite an Alabama basketball programs. We'll try to bring you some of that audio as well. As, we
have a great relationship with that fan. They trust us, and they allow us to talk to Kyra. He had a really solid rookie year. You got to understand, this is somebody that should have been a freshman in college. When you continue to talk about his age, where he is as a player, certainly I know he would have wanted to play more, but he was, as he said, he was trying to soak it in, trying to just learn how to play the NBA game. Now he's going to have an opportunity at more minutes with the Eric Bledsoe trade. They've still got Lonzo Ball, so Kyra's still going to probably be a backup right now with this club. But he's just got to keep grinding and getting better. And if he does, he's going to have an outstanding career, and he'll have a chance to be, as I've said before, he and Josh Primo both, since Josh is coming out this year. So and then having the chance for the real big money when you're talking second and third contract.
Who's on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, Chad?
Johnny on the cell.